Hello there, and welcome to Cooking with Lydia, the very first Cooking with Lydia ever. I'm very excited to be cooking with you. The reason being, I'm very excited to be cooking with myself. I recently moved into an apartment. I've lived on campus as a college student for a very long time, an unnecessarily long time, because I tried to be an RA last semester and I just realized it wasn't going to work out. I couldn't do it, couldn't live on campus anymore. I was done with the whole everybody being in your face all the time thing. I needed time to do my weird art and to lay on the ground and have peace and be awake at 4 in the morning if I need to be, because I need to be sometimes. Today, what we're going to be doing is creating a recipe called Tabbouleh. And while I lived on campus last year and the year before that, I had a meal plan and did not need to cook for myself and was in love with the school's Tabbouleh, which is just, oh, it is so good. It is delicious. It is like quinoa, chickpeas, tomatoes, cilantro, onions, a couple other things, but I do not have the recipe for the school tabbouleh, so today we're going to be making tabbouleh out of the recipe that I have in my lovely cookbook. Something before we get into cooking that I want to tell you about this cookbook is my mom got it for me a couple years ago for Christmas. What I want to do with it, and this is incredibly cool and exciting, get through all of the recipes that are in it, and there's 700 recipes. This way, I will know how to cook dishes of all varieties. I will have an instinctual ability to follow recipes, and I will just generally become a much better chef if I go through all of these. Also, I think maybe it's a little bit of OCD. I have books and need to finish them from beginning to end, otherwise I don't feel fully complete. But it's an OCD tick that I like. I enjoy cooking a lot. It's always been enjoyable for me. I know it'll only be a positive experience to make it through every single one of these recipes. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made tabbouleh. Hopefully you enjoy it, and I know I'll be enjoying it, so let's get started. Alright, I'm taking my recipe from the Complete Vegetarian Cookbook. 250 vegan and 500 gluten-free recipes. So many recipes. I have it and I must use it. And I'm a fresh guide. It says that the guide is fresh itself. That's kind of cool. I was thinking about that. What's the definition of fresh? Because at school they have this bowl filled with the most appetizing fruit ever, and it says fresh fruit. I was thinking, what is the definition of fresh, and how come so many companies are allowed to use that term when I'm pretty sure the definition does not match their fruit. Whatever they're calling fresh may not be so fresh. This is a foolproof recipe book. However, the recipes tend to be not foolproof, as I am a fool, and I am not. I've made many small mistakes, as you will see. Sometimes I just shrug my shoulders and go, it's food. So at the end of the day, you mix it all together and it'll be delicious. Tabbouleh, it says, is a Middle Eastern salad which is made of bulgur. I've never heard of bulgur before this. Parsley, tomato, and onion steeped in a penetrating mint and lemon dressing. Basically, what you're gonna need for this recipe is 3 tomatoes, cored and cut into 1.5-inch pieces. I don't know how to core, and so I cut it up like I normally would cut up a tomato. And I like to use more of the tomato than most people do. I think that most of it is edible. I'm not one of those people who eats the strawberry stem, because just because it's edible doesn't mean it tastes good. I include a lot, but not the gross parts. Salt and pepper, which, yum. A 1/2 cup of medium grind bulgur, rinsed. I didn't rinse mine, a mistake. 1/4 cup of lemon juice, or aka 2 lemons. 6 teaspoons of extra virgin, 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1½ cups of minced fresh parsley, 1/2 cup of minced fresh mint. The first step is toss tomatoes with 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in a fine mesh strainer. Set over bowl and let drain, tossing occasionally for 30 minutes. And I'm impatient, so I did not wait 30 minutes. Reserve 2 tablespoons of drained tomato juice. I also accidentally got rid of the tomato juice. You see how it's kind of like I don't read the instructions very well. Toss the bulgur with 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Let it sit until the grains begin to soften. I was making this when I was really hungry and I didn't realize I was going to have to wait so long. In a large bowl, whisk the remaining 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, oil, cayenne, and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt together. Then you add the drained tomatoes, the soaked bulgur, the parsley, the mint, and you toss it gently to combine. Then you cover it and let it sit at room temperature for an hour. If you eat the bulgur before this time, it will not be tender, it will be crusty. Before you serve it, you need to toss it to recombine and season it with salt and pepper to taste. And for me, it was a lot of salt. Maybe because I have low blood sugar. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Salt, low blood pressure. And yes, that is honestly everything that you do to make this recipe. If you eat a lot like me, you might want to double the amount of everything. I ate this within like 3 days. Probably less. If you eat fast and you eat big, it serves 4. It does not serve 4. That is the end of Cooking with Lydia. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see me cook again. And even if you don't want to, I will be cooking again because I have 700 recipes to get through.